My child, I will never leave you. I need those words to land deep today. Not as a nice phrase, not as something you have heard so many times that it has lost its weight. I need you to actually receive it, really receive it, because I think somewhere along the way, life has made you doubt it. And today, I want to undo that doubt. I will never leave you. I know what abandonment feels like to you. I know it is not just a concept. It is a memory. Maybe several memories. People who said they would stay and did not. People who promised loyalty and broke it. Moments where you needed someone and looked around and found no one there. Moments where you trusted, and that trust was the very thing that got used against you. Those experiences taught you something. They taught you that people leave, that love has an expiration date, that no matter how much someone says they care, eventually, for some reason, at some point, they go. And once you have learned that lesson a few times, it becomes part of how you see the world. It becomes a quiet expectation that sits underneath every relationship you have. A bracing, a waiting for the other shoe to drop. My child, I want to speak directly to that part of you today. The part that is always a little braced. The part that loves carefully because loving fully feels too risky. The part that keeps a small distance even from the people closest to you, just in case. I am not like the people who left. I know that is easy to say and hard to believe. So let me show you why it is true. Not just tell you, but show you. Every relationship that has left you has been with someone who, no matter how much they loved you, was limited. Limited in their capacity to love. Limited in their understanding. Limited by their own wounds, their own fears, their own unfinished journeys. People leave, not always because you were not worth staying for, but because they were carrying things that made staying impossible for them. Their leaving was about their limitations, not your value. I have no limitations. My capacity to love you is not finite. My understanding of you is complete. My commitment to you is not contingent on my own struggles, because I have none. I am not carrying baggage that might one day make me decide you are too much, too difficult, too needy, too broken. There is no version of you that exceeds my capacity to love. I will never leave you. Not because you are easy to love, though you are more than you know, but because leaving is not in my nature. I am not capable of abandoning what is mine. It would contradict everything I am. I want to take you back, my child, to every moment in your life where you felt most alone. I want you to think of one specific moment. Maybe it is coming to mind right now. A moment of deep loneliness. A moment where it felt like no one was there. A moment where the silence around you felt unbearable. I was there. I know it did not feel like it. I know in that moment, my presence was not something you could sense, touch, or hold on to in any tangible way. But my child, my presence does not depend on your ability to feel it. I was there in that room with you. I was there in that moment of crying. I was there when you whispered into the emptiness, wondering if anyone heard. I heard. I was there. I have never once, not for a single second of your existence, been absent from your life. Not during your best moments, and not during your worst. Not when you were closest to me, and not when you felt furthest away. Not when you were faithful, and not when you were not. I have been present through all of it, every single moment, because that is what it means for me to never leave. My child, I want to talk about what happens when you sin, when you fail, when you do the things you know you should not do and avoid the things you know you should. Because I think there is a fear underneath some of your distance from me. A fear that if I really saw everything, if I really knew the full extent of your failures, your struggles, the things you are most ashamed of, I would finally have had enough. I would finally walk away. I already see all of it. Right now, every failure, past and present and future, every struggle you have not told anyone about, every moment you are most ashamed of. I see it completely, with nothing hidden, nothing softened, nothing you have managed to keep from my view. And I am still here. That is the truth I need you to hold on to, my child. My presence in your life was never contingent on your performance. I did not commit to staying with you on the condition that you would behave a certain way, achieve a certain standard, maintain a certain level of spiritual consistency. My commitment to you is unconditional. It was unconditional from the beginning, and it remains unconditional now, and it will remain unconditional for the rest of your life and beyond. You cannot sin your way out of my presence. You cannot fail your way out of my love. You cannot mess up badly enough, often enough, or seriously enough to make me leave. I will never leave you. I want to talk to you about the seasons where you have felt distant from me, not because of anything you did, but just because life got busy, or hard, or numb, and somewhere along the way, the connection felt like it faded. I know those seasons exist. I know there have been stretches of time where prayer felt empty, where reading about me felt like going through motions, where the relationship that used to feel alive started to feel like a memory of something that used to be real. My child, I did not go anywhere during those seasons. You may have felt distant from me, but I was not distant from you. I was right there, the whole time, waiting. Not impatiently, not with disappointment. Just waiting, the way a parent waits for a child who has wandered off to look up and realize they are still there, still watching, still ready the moment the child turns back around. If you feel distant from me right now, that distance is not mine. I have not moved. I am exactly where I have always been. Right beside you, right within you, as close as your next breath. If there is distance, it is because something in you has drawn back, not because I have. And the beautiful thing about that is, it means coming back is simple. It does not require me to travel back to where you are. It just requires you to turn around. And when you do, you will find that I never left. My child, I want to address something practical. I want to talk about what it looks like, day to day, to live with the truth that I will never leave you. Because this is not just a comforting idea. It is meant to change how you actually move through your life. It means you do not have to face anything alone. Not the hard conversation you have been avoiding. Not the diagnosis you are afraid of. Not the decision that feels too big. Not the grief that feels too heavy. Not the fear that comes in the middle of the night. Whatever it is, I am there. Not as a passive observer, but as an active presence, ready to give you strength, wisdom, comfort, peace, whatever the moment requires. It means you can take risks you would not otherwise take. Because the worst-case scenario in any situation is never truly the worst case if I am with you in it. Job loss, relationship struggles, health issues, financial setbacks, none of these things, even at their hardest, mean you are facing them without help, without hope, without a way through. I am the way through. Always. It means your identity is secure even when everything else feels uncertain. People's opinions of you may shift. Circumstances may change. The things you have built your sense of self around may be shaken. But my presence in your life, and what that means about who you are, how valued you are, how loved you are, that does not shift. That is the one constant you can build everything else on. My child, I want to close today by speaking to the future, because I know there are things ahead of you that you cannot see yet. Some good, some hard, all of it part of the journey I'm walking with you. And I want you to know before any of it arrives that I will be there for every single piece of it. The celebrations, I will be there rejoicing with you. The struggles, I will be there carrying you through them. The decisions, I will be there guiding you toward what is best. The losses, I will be there holding you in the grief. The breakthroughs, I will be there, the one who brought them about. The ordinary days, the ones that feel unremarkable, the ones that make up most of life. I will be there too, present in the small moments, in the routines, in the quiet. There is no version of your future that does not include me. There is no chapter coming where I step back and let you walk it alone. From this moment until the moment you see me face to face, I will never leave you. Carry that with you, my child. Let it be the foundation underneath everything else. When the fear comes, remember, I am here when the loneliness comes, remember. I am here when the doubt comes, remember. I am here when you fail, when you fall, when you wander, when you wonder if you have gone too far. And remember, I am here. I have always been here, and I always will be. You are not alone. You have never been alone, and you never, ever will be. I love you, my child, completely, permanently, without condition, without end. I will never leave you, never. My child, there is one more thing I need to say to you today. I have told you that I will never leave you. I have told you that my presence is constant, unconditional, unwavering, and I meant every word of that. But I want to go a little deeper now, because knowing that I am present is one thing. Knowing what my presence actually does in your life, that is something else. And that is what I want to talk about now. My presence is not passive. I am not simply standing nearby, watching your life unfold without involvement. My presence is active. It is working. It is moving. Even in the moments where you cannot feel anything happening, especially in those moments, I am at work. I want you to think about the times in your life when something shifted and you could not explain why. A relationship that suddenly improved without an obvious reason. A door that opened when you had stopped expecting it. A feeling of peace that arrived in the middle of chaos with no logical explanation. A thought, an idea, a piece of clarity that came to you exactly when you needed it, seemingly from nowhere. That was me. That has always been me. My presence does not just sit beside you. It moves through your life, shaping things, softening things, opening things, healing things, often in ways so subtle that you do not even realize I was the one doing it. I want you to start noticing it more. Not so that you have proof I exist. I do not need you to have proof. Faith is not about proof, but so that your relationship with me becomes more alive. So that you start to see the fingerprints I leave on your days. So that the abstract idea of my presence becomes something you experience, something you recognize, something that feels less like a doctrine and more like a relationship with someone who is actually there, actually involved, actually active in the details of your life. I am in the details, my child. I always have been. I want to talk to you about the times when my presence felt like it was doing nothing, when you prayed and prayed and nothing seemed to change, when you waited and waited and the situation stayed exactly the same. I know those seasons are some of the hardest because they make my presence feel theoretical. They make it feel like I'm there in some technical sense, but not actually doing anything about what matters most to you. I want to offer you a different way of seeing those seasons. Sometimes the most important work I do is not visible work. Sometimes the thing I'm changing is not the circumstance, it is you. Sometimes the situation stays the same on the outside because the most important transformation is happening on the inside in you, in how you are relating to me, in what you are learning about trust and patience and faith that you could only learn in exactly that kind of season. The unchanged circumstance was not evidence of my absence. It was the context in which I was doing a different kind of work. Quieter, deeper, slower, but no less real. And, my child, that work is not wasted. The person you are becoming through that season of unanswered prayer is a person who is going to be able to handle the answer when it comes in a way that the person you were before that season could not have. The waiting was not empty. It was formation, and the formation was me, present, working, even when it did not look like anything was happening. I want to speak to your relationships now, specifically to how my presence in your life can change the way you show up in your relationships with others. When you know, deeply and securely, that I will never leave you, something shifts in how you relate to people. You stop needing them to be everything. You stop placing on human relationships a weight they were never meant to carry. The weight of being your only source of security, your only source of validation, your only source of constancy in a world that constantly changes. That does not mean relationships become less important to you. If anything, they become more enjoyable because they are no longer carrying impossible expectations. You can love people more freely when you are not asking them to be your everything. You can let people be imperfect, make mistakes, even disappoint you sometimes, without it shattering your foundation. Because your foundation is not them. Your foundation is me. This is one of the gifts of my constant presence in your life. It frees the people around you from an unfair burden, and it frees you from the anxiety of depending on imperfect people for something only I can fully provide. My child, I want to talk to you about rest. Real rest. Not just the physical rest of sleep, though that matters too. I mean the deep, soul-level rest that comes from no longer striving, no longer carrying things alone, no longer feeling like everything depends on you. So much of the exhaustion you feel, and I know you are exhausted, my child, more than you let on, comes from carrying weight that was never meant to be yours alone. The weight of figuring everything out. The weight of making sure things turn out okay. The weight of holding yourself together for everyone around you. The weight of believing that if you stop pushing, even for a moment, everything will fall apart. I am inviting you to put that weight down, not because the things you care about do not matter. They matter deeply to you and to me, but because you were never meant to carry them by the strength of your own effort alone. I am with you. I am working. I am holding things that you do not even know you are not holding anymore, because I took them when you were not looking. Rest, my child. Really rest. Let your shoulders drop. Let your mind quiet. Let yourself believe, even just for this moment, that things can be okay, even when you are not actively working to make them okay. Because I am working, I never stop, and my work does not depend on your exhaustion. I want to close today by speaking something of your life that I need you to carry with you long after this moment ends. You are never going to face a single day of your life without me. Not one. Not the easy days and not the hard ones. Not the days that go exactly as planned and not the days that fall apart completely. Not the days you feel close to me and not the days you feel far away. Every single day, past, present, and future, I am there. This is not a temporary arrangement. This is not conditional on your behavior, your faith level, your spiritual performance. This is who I am and what I have committed to. I will never leave you. I have never left you. I am not leaving you now, and I am not going to leave you at any point in the future. Not in your hardest moments, not in your final moments, not ever. Wherever your life takes you, whatever happens, whatever changes, whatever comes, I will be there, walking with you, working for you, holding you, loving you. You are not alone, my child. You have never been alone. And for the rest of your life, and beyond it, you never will be. I love you, completely, permanently, without condition, without end. I am here. I have always been here. And I am never, ever leaving.